Hi friends, I'm Scott Giles, minister and hypnotist, and welcome to Power Talk, my video blog, where I cover topics that interest me, always focusing on how you can use the power of your mind to take control of your life. If you want to know more about my professional work or sign up for my free e-newsletter, Power Lines, check out my website, which I'll tag in the description. Well, today I want to talk about a theme I found on social networking, mostly TikTok, but you can find it elsewhere. It's the claim that someone is Delulu, D-E-L-U-L-U. That is, that someone is delusional about what they expect. A lot of the videos I've seen are about prospective brides who become delulu about their weddings, expecting attendants or guests to cover enormous costs, demanding elaborate gifts, and so on. I've also seen some dating coaches saying that men and women both get delulu in what they expect in a partner. Women who insist on being taken out to a high-end restaurant on a first date, or who say they will only date guys who are tall and rich, or guys who will expect to date women decades younger than themselves, and so on. All that said, there are some people who have staked out an intellectual meme about all of this that I just find is delightful. They say that delulu is the solulu. That is, being delusional is the solution. What they mean by this is that it's okay and sometimes smart to be willing to do something unconventional or unexpected. Management consultants will sometimes talk about the wisdom of thinking outside the box, by which they mean think about things unconventionally. It comes from an old puzzle of a box of 9 dots. And the challenge is to draw no more than 4 lines that link all the dots. Well, most people struggle with this because they see the box and they try to keep the 4 lines within the boundaries of the box. However, if you do that, the puzzle can't be solved. The solution is to draw the lines in a way that's larger than the box and extend beyond it. If you do that, it's possible to complete the challenge. Hence the phrase, think outside the box. You can't solve the puzzle if you keep all of your lines inside the box. You have to extend beyond it. Well, when applied more generally to life, the idea is that all of us get into habits and patterns in our thinking and action, and mostly that's a good thing. Habits simplify our lives. When I want to pick up my coffee cup, I just reach for it and run the habitual programs in my unconscious mind about reaching, grabbing an object, and lifting. I don't look at the cup, measure the distance between my hand and the cup, reflect on the length of my arm, subtract the shorter length from the longer one, and intellectually figure out how I would go about picking up my cup. Now, once upon a time, when I was an infant in my crib learning how to grab things, I probably did do some sort of internal calculation. But I've done the behavior so many times, it's become habitual. I don't have to think about it, I just do it. We have to automate things like that, or we couldn't possibly go through life having to consciously think about doing every little thing. All well and good. Except when I'm faced with a situation where my past programs do not work to meaningfully address the problems I face. I'm reminded of an experiment conducted by Dr. Martin Seligman. He put puppies in a kennel where the floor was an electrified grid, and the puppies were given shocks. And let me say right here that I am an animal rights person, and I despise that this experiment was done, but it was. The pups howled, and there was nothing they could do to escape the pain. Well, after some time, the puppies were then put in another kennel where only half the floor was electrified. They were put on that electrified part, and the shocks resumed. None of the pups moved from the electrified surface to the ordinary kennel floor where they would be safe. They had learned, you see, that the universe was a place of suffering and that there was nothing one could do about that suffering. And because they believed that, when they were put in a situation where there was something they could do to deliver themselves from their pain, their own habits of thought kept them from seeing an obvious solution. Don't be like that. Because for a lot of problems, Delulu can be the Solulu. That is, think outside the box. Try something unconventional. You don't like your job, but you think you're locked in by your education and work history? Well, take another look. When I decided I didn't want to be a parish minister anymore, I became a hypnotist, for God's sake. That was certainly unexpected, and a lot of people thought I was nuts, but it worked out fine for me. I can guarantee that if you never reach for your dream, you will never achieve it. And if you only do what other people think you should do or what they approve of, you're going to have a less handsome life than you will otherwise have. Think outside the box. Often your problems can be solved if you're willing to try something unconventional. There are people making good livings wrestling alligators, for goodness sake, and while that is certainly extreme, when you don't know what to do in order to reset your situation, try something outside of the box. Delulu can be the Solulu. You don't need to be conventional. Hey, thank you for your time and attention today. I'll be back next week with another talk on a different subject. I'd like to invite you to join me. It helps me a lot if you tell others about my videos, so please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you're wondering if I can be of help to you, feel free to reach out through my website for a free, no-obligation screening call, and we'll talk about it. Have a great week.